Hey everybody, this is Ryan with RedDragonHerbs.net, and today we're going to talk about a plant that gets a very bad rap, but it's very useful, and it's the dandelion. The dandelion, as you can see here, gets its name from Dandelion, the French for teeth of the lion. I guess you can see the jagged leaves, and I don't know, maybe the golden main looking thing of the flower kind of gives you the impression of a lion, maybe. So that's where the name actually comes from. But anyway, this plant has historically been very useful and continues to be very useful in our ecosystem. And we're going to talk a little bit about this plant. It gets a bad rap. Every year it's probably the first thing that really comes up in the spring. And everybody goes crazy spraying them or pulling them. The bright yellow does definitely stick out in a green lawn, and you can see them from a mile away, so people think it looks unsightly. But now, the dandelion itself is probably one of the most powerful detoxifying plants I know of. If you make a tea out of the leaves or eat the leaves or whatever, it's a diuretic. It stimulates urine. It helps your gallbladder, your liver, your kidneys function. Basically everything your body needs to detoxify. It's even a mild laxative. So it's really good to help clean your system out a little bit. You can actually make a powder out of the roots, and that's a lot of the diuretic properties are very well concentrated in that root. And a lot of people take the dandelion root for those properties. But now in our ecosystem, the dandelions are important for a couple reasons. One, what I've got right here is about half of a dandelion root. This is a pretty good sized one. You can see it's almost the size of a carrot. So when these dandelions grow, and they'll grow damn near everywhere, these very deep roots will help break up the soil a little bit. And that allows better airflow, water flow, and so forth. It decompacts the soil and improves the overall health of the soil. And another important thing for our ecosystem and the dandelions is, like I said earlier, these are one of the first things that come up in the spring. You may notice, like especially alongside your driveway or the sunny side of your house, they'll be up in March or whatever. But there's a lot of concern about bees and other pollinators recently, and the dandelion is one of the first things that come up, and it's also one of the last things that's up in the season because it is a very cold hardy plant. It doesn't do heat very well. So the dandelion kind of shortens the winter for the bees. So when the dandelions first start popping up, the bees know that spring is here and they can start gathering nectar again. And that's very important because there's not really a lot of things going on. Now, historically, for the same reason the dandelion's important to the bees, the dandelions has been very important to humans. This is not just a weed, it's edible. You can eat all the dandelion except for the stems. As you know, you've probably plucked a dandelion in your life before. The stems are kind of milky and not exactly something you want to eat, but you can eat these flowers. I've had them in stir fries before. You just pluck them, make sure to pluck them really close to the base, and throw them in there, and they taste just fine, and it looks kind of cool, to be honest. And the leaves you can eat too. You can eat them fresh, and put them in a salad. To be perfectly honest, I think I would have a hard time choking down a dandelion leaf salad, so it's best to be mixed in with something else. But the best leaves to use for a salad would be ones that maybe are younger and grow in a shade, so, like a big plant like this, probably not so good. But a lot of people would also boil the dandelions just like you would, or the greens just like you would, like collard greens or turnip greens or whatever. They're still kind of bitter. I think if I remember right, the trick is to boil them halfway, then strain them and rinse them, and then boil them in new water, and that makes them less bitter. And another interesting thing people do is they take the flowers and they mix it with orange juice, maybe some sugar and yeast or something, and make a dandelion wine. And I've heard that's very good. I've never had it myself. But anyway, since the dandelion is one of the first things that come up in the spring, it's been important because, well, up until fairly recently in human history, it was pretty hard to get vegetables or whatever this time of year. It's, springtime's pleasant for us right now, but it was pretty hard times, say, 100 years ago, whatever, when you couldn't get iceberg lettuce flown in from Mexico or whatever at all time of the year. Basically, what you had throughout the winter to eat, as far as vegetables go, would be like, say, certain types of squashes, root vegetables, potatoes would last you a little while. You can grow kale into the winter, but not that far. If you had sauerkraut or something you pickled, and that's about it. And since you pretty much could eat what you store, well, once you got into spring, you were probably down pretty. Your stores are probably down pretty low. So the addition of anything green would be very welcome. So people would actually get kind of excited when the first dandelions would come out, and they would go pluck them and eat them, and in the manner I just discussed. And now everybody knows they're not great, but they're not bad. And also with those detoxifying properties, that came in handy back then after you were cooped up all winter. Springtime, there's a lot of wet, cold, rainy, windy weather and a lot of illness going around. So something that is a really good detoxifier goes a long way that time of year. That's all I have as far as red dragon herbs go. At this moment, I don't have anything with dandelion in it, but probably will in the future. But in the meantime, this is something that is probably out in your front yard. And if not, there's plenty of people, I'm sure, that would let you come pick their dandelions and use them. And I would encourage you to do so. Use the leaves, use the flowers, don't use the stem. If you could dig up the roots like this, dry them out, and make yourself a powder. That's some pretty powerful stuff as far as detoxifying goes. But anyway, this has been Ryan with RedDragonHerbs.net, and thanks for watching.